Hello everyone, welcome to our media group's photographic influences presentation. Hello, I'm Daisy. I'm very glad to be involved in this activity.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen. I'm glad to do this assignment in this group.
Hi everyone, I'm Belle, and I'm glad to be a part of this team.
First of all, we divide this presentation into three parts. The first part is the introduction, which consists two sections. The introduction of our project and the introduction of the photographer. The second part is our photographic works, which includes the picture taken by the original photographer and those taken by us. The last part is the summary, which includes the challenges we faced and our experiences and the insights. Alright, let me talk about our goals. Firstly, this photography event aims to enhance our photography skills, with a notable improvement in terms of light and shadow, size, and the photographic attitude. Secondly, it intended to improve our media literacy, enabling us to more accurately identify the details of the photo and use the process with media thinking, such as Photoshop. Lastly, we hope to gain insights and reflections from this event, so as to better complete the related assessments and the activities in the future.
Moving on, I'm going to do a short introduction on our chosen photographer, Daido Moriyama. Daido Moriyama is a pioneering Japanese photographer celebrated for his provocative and unconventional approach to street photography. He was born in Osaka in 1938. Moriyama emerged as a key figure in post-war Japanese art and gained recognition in the 1960s. He was known for his raw, grainy, and high-contrast black and white images. His photographs often focus on the fragmented and chaotic aspects of urban life, particularly in Tokyo, capturing fleeting moments, anomalous figures, and gritty cityscapes. Moriyama's work challenges viewers to find a meaning in the ordinary and the overlooked, and his influence continues to resonate in both photography and contemporary visual culture around the world.
Okay, let's take a look at the first photo of Daido. This photo depicts a woman sitting on the roadside and playing with her mobile phone. Her outfit is in the style of 2000 year, and the sunlight is coming from the right side and the shooting angle is eye level. This photo is in black and white and the main character is on the right side of the photo. Let's take a look at my photo. It's also a woman sitting on the roadside playing with her mobile phone, eye level, and in black and white. However, the lighting conditions are very different. The original photo was illuminated from the right side, while this one was illuminated from the rear right. Moreover, the style of the scarf and the bag is also quite different from the original photo. Let's take a look at the second photo. In it, a man is in half squatting position, and behind him is a building. The picture is taken from overhead perspective and in black and white. Although this photo has oppressive atmosphere typical of black and white photos, the man's actions reveal his fanny. The photo I took also shows a man in half squat position. However, the background and the ground are different from those original photos. Besides, we couldn't find a very formal suit, and the figure in this photo doesn't exactly match that in the original one. What's more, it reveals a comical pose, as if for a scene of Chaplin's plays. The third photo of Daido shows a man working with his back to the camera. The light and the shadow fall on the wall behind him. The man is looking straight ahead. The color scheme remains black and white, creating a relaxed and a pleasant atmosphere. My photo is also a man's profile, walking along on the street. However, there is an identical shadow cast on the back wall as in previous one. This is the drawback of this photo. Moreover, due to the problem with the photography equipment, I reused the photo and made the figure larger.
To begin with, the first photo shows a woman sitting alone on a train, gazing directly into the camera. It's a mid-shot taken at eye level and captures in black and white, which sets a lonely tone. The combination of natural light from the window and the light inside the train creates a softer contrast. This enhances the emotional depth of the scene. Okay, let's move on to my replication. I try my best to keep the original composition, however, it's a little different. I keep the same framing but change the clothing to a hoodie. This adds a modern urban element, and is closer to the present life. In addition, I took this photo on the train instead of the Japanese train. Then here are my tips. I use a PS software named Meitu to add filters to make it look almost the same as the original. Next, let's look at the second photo. There is a woman standing on the street, slightly looking up. It's a medium close-up shot in black and white, with city lights blurred in the background. The soft directional lighting brings out the contours of her face, adding depth and emotional clarity. Here are my replication. I carefully retain the core visual structure, same pose, framing, and monochrome style. However, the model's expression is different. The emotion changes from serious to gentle. Additionally, the setting of the city is also different. The slightly clearer background adds a touch of realism. Altogether, this transition creates a softer emotional narrative that connects with urban life. The processes are as same as the first one. Finally, the third photo is an extreme close-up taken from a high angle, showing a closed left eye. The lighting coming from elbow casts subtle shadows along the eyelashes while highlighting the eyelid texture. The soft lighting transitions bring out a feeling of emotional quiet. The close-up adds intensity, forcing us to slow down and observe something simple but profound. In my own work, the composition and lighting remain consistent with the original. To sum up, I create these photos hard while adding my own emotional touch and changes like closing expressions and so on. I try my best to make my works almost as same as the originals and reflect the respect for the photographer.
This is my first chosen photo. It is a photograph of a woman bending over a sink. The image is untitled and is a part of Daido Moriyama's farewell series of photography. Interestingly, he later burned the films of these pictures, which adds a deeper emotional layer to the work. Almost as if he was trying to erase a memory or close a chapter in his life. What drew me to this photo was the strong sense of stress it conveys. It really resonates to me, especially when I first moved abroad to study. The posture and the overall tone reflect that overwhelming feeling that I connected with it on a personal level. The photo uses a medium shot which allows us to clearly see both the woman and the sink. It is taken at eye level, which creates a stronger emotional connection with the subject. I edited the photo in black and white and added a grainy texture to give it a more vintage, film-like feel, just like Moriyama's style. These technical elements reinforce the sense of raw emotion and nostalgia. The composition feels visually heavy, The woman's posture carries a lot of emotional weight, and there is little breathing space in the frame, which enhances the feeling of stress and discomfort. The negative space dominates. The grainy dots throughout the photo further emphasize the vintage, almost decaying atmosphere. We tried to recreate the scene and the posture as closely as possible. However, the wall design in our version is different, and our model wears a shirt, which was a conscious choice to make everyone feel more comfortable while capturing the core emotion of the original image. This is the second photo in my series, showing a close-up of a hand with dark nail polish and a bandaged finger. It is a quiet but emotionally charged image. What attracted me to this photo was the contrast between strength and vulnerability. The dark nail polish often symbolizes power, confidence, and sophistication, but the bandage adds an unexpected twist. It suggests pain or injury, and that contrast made me curious. It feels like the hand was telling a story without showing a face or expression. He used a close-up shot to bring the viewer very close to the subject, which helps communicate a sense of tiredness or emotional heaviness. The hand is shot from a slightly high angle, which makes it appear more passive, almost like it's resting after something intense. Technically, he focused on texture and lighting to highlight both the polish and the bandage, symbolically linking strength and weakness. This photo is visually imbalanced with just one strong focus point, the hand. There is very little breathing space around it, which adds to the feeling of isolation. The use of negative space around the hand reinforces this quiet, heavy mood. The details like the chipped polish or roughness of the bandage adds texture and emotional weight to the image. In recreating this photo, we aim to keep the same atmosphere and the emotional contrast. One small difference is that we added a bracelet to strengthen the contrast. The feeling of quiet struggle is still there, which is the most important part for us. This is a third photo I recreated, featuring a close-up of white eyes stretched open by fingers. The image is powerful and direct. This photo immediately caught my attention because of how directly it engages the viewer. It almost confronts the audience. There's something intense and captivating about those eyes peering through the fingers. The dramatic feeling is heightened with the nail polish adding a symbolic layer of tension or identity. We used a close-up shot to create a sense of suffocation, drawing the viewer uncomfortably close to the subject. The slightly high angle adds vulnerability and tension, making the viewer feel both confronted and uneasy. The blurred texture and dark tone gives off an eerie, intense atmosphere. The visual weight in this photo is also heavy. It is imbalanced with no breathing space, and the subject dominates the frame. There is a strong sense of emotional tension, and the positive space, the face and fingers, feel overwhelming. The slight blur adds a dreamlike or even nightmarish quality. We tried to replicate the original as closely as possible, but some differences came up. For example, the position of the finger might vary due to the model's hand size. When taking the photo, we added a stronger eyeshadow on the model to get a step closer to the original photo. We aim to preserve the overall feeling and confrontational energy of the original.
In conclusion, in this assignment, we recreated the photos of Japanese photographer Daido Moriyama, known for his unique style of photography. Although we face challenges like bad weather, cloudy streets, limited equipment, and it's hard to find the same background as the originals, we learned the importance of making a plan in advance, the value of teamwork, and we enhanced our skills of taking photos and reflect on the creative process. Most importantly, we realized how powerful media can be in shaping how we see and understand the world around us. Photograph is not just capturing reality, it's about expressing emotions. That's all. Thank you for your listening.